Alright, here is this old window fan, exhaust fan, box fan, whatever kind of fan you really want it to be. Really just designed to be an exhaust fan, I believe. And I believe from what I've seen from other videos, this is branded International. It doesn't say it anywhere on the fan itself, but yeah, I've seen a couple of videos of people having these in the past. And yeah, I've got this thing that this was a actually found this about a year ago. It was quite a ways away, and this guy had a farming equipment repair, kind of a small barn, and he had this thing mounted pretty way up. I'd say about, I don't know, 15, 20 feet up above the door, and it ventilated the shop area, I guess, when they were running equipment, engines and all that. So it had its fair share of diesel soot on the blades. Still kind of had it stained on there. I couldn't really get it off. This thing was kind of a biohazard. This is the only fan in my collection I don't really use much. I use it in the garage, in the window to exhaust fumes or whatever, for painting something or working on a lawnmower or a running engine that's emitting fumes. Other than that, I mean, I don't really know much about it. I have had this fan apart once, and I don't want to take it apart ever again because the design of this thing is pretty horrific. Look closer look at this. I love these blades on this thing though. Like, I really would. That's the reason why I kind of bought it. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, he was the guy that the repairman I bought it from. I only paid $20 for this fan, and he was upgrading to a modern new turbine looking exhaust fan and put it in the window. But yeah, this thing was not in best shape. It lacked maintenance. It still works, but it's I don't know, let's say 50%. The motor hasn't been, upon me getting it, the motor hadn't been oiled in a long time, I can tell. And it does make a loud buzzing sound when it runs, but it goes away. I did have to replace a couple rivets on one of these blades. I had to use an old one because typical hardware stores, Lowe's and Home Depot, and don't carry these size rivets for some reason. That's enough for the front of the fan. Here's the switch. It's got a inline switch here. Shed some light on the situation. Here we go. 6 amp. This switch is rated for 6 amp. I mean, it's kind of a universal switch. 2-speed fan. Inside. Does say the speeds on here. Oh, there it is on the other side. I haven't looked at the switch in a while. Switch still works well. That's the plug. Very old looking plug, non-polarized. The side of it. It's got this chicken wire style. Okay, I'm not a fan of the design of this fan as far as its build. Yeah, let's see, I had to cut a hole back here to get the motor out from the rear when I went to service it last time I did. And because the wires are, you couldn't pull it out front ways because you would end up nicking the wires. So I had to wear a thick glove and, cut that thing out. And that was a pain in the ass. I never want to take this damn thing apart again, I'll tell you that much, because I still haven't gotten, you have to line these, the way the motor is mounted on here basically supports the whole freaking fan. You have to line, there's a very specific measurement they have to line up with. I have to throw a micrometer on, I guess, to really get this fan to run smooth, not make so much. I mean, it doesn't make a whole lot. I've got it close, but I don't know, I'm just so tired of the damn thing. I don't want to. It's such a pain in the ass, but I do like the way it looks, and it does work. It functions as a garage exhaust fan. The motor on it is, the writing is kind of tucked under there. It's, unfortunately, it's a Universal Electric motor, shaded pole motor, from 1963. So the motor on this fan is from 63. It makes me guess this fan is from like the early to mid 60s. Pretty old fan. Other than that, did have to repair there was the coating, this green coating it has had a break there, and it was exposing the wiring, so I taped the hell out of it with electrical tape and Gorilla Tape. Just, because the original owner, I guess he routed this thing like this because of the way he had it sitting up in the window. I do have the original window shutters right here. Both are they both look the same color as the fan. Nice color to it. Vintage teal, vintage turquoise. Yeah. I think the cord would originally ran down and out somewhere on the bottom, but I'm just not gonna fool with the thing because yeah, it works fine as it is. So got the meter here and fire it up at my favorite station. Put it on the tripod for this because it does. The thing moves some pretty good air. It's not that powerful as far as revolutions per minute, but it's pretty torquey, and the blades are pitched pretty well. So there's high. See, it's moving pretty good air. Bearings on this fan aren't in the best shape either. Like I said, sadly this thing is sat in that window and it got a lot of moisture and stuff inside of it. Thankfully it's not rusted through or anything because it did have an awning over it. But yeah, it just wasn't the best condition for a fan, I would say. But out in the country, that's just how it goes. And about 2.4 amps. 158 watts. Kick it down to a low. About 1.5. 104 watts. Yeah, the vibration you're hearing is the blades are perfectly fine and balanced. It's the motor is sitting somehow just like a tenth of an inch or so off, and it's just making it. Again, while I'm explaining, this thing is such a pain in the ass as far as design. But maybe one day I might throw this thing into make a regular box fan for your cabinet. If one would be wide enough, I doubt it. You find one that's don't match the width, but I don't know. High. And off. Yeah, it's just that motor, and the bearings are kind of starting to get a little toast on it. But it still coasts down pretty good. Just my biggest, I just like looking at this thing. It provides a nice aesthetic, I think, so for the garage. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a good one.